Hello, everyone. Welcome in to yet another bag check here on the channel. Our best ball bags, they're fighting back. Rashid Shaheed with the massive day yesterday. My most drafted player in Best Ball Mania was actually finally not that good of a week in the underdog BR streets. We're going to review some of those winning lineups. We're going to take a look through at some of the high stakes teams. We're just going to survey the scene in fantasy football and find out who's having a good year, who's having a bad year. Is it a slap year? Is Trevion Henderson bad? Is Trevion Henderson good? What's going on with Ramondre Stevenson? Where's Antonio Gibson at? Some really interesting stuff. One Mr. Chad Candles, the winner, folks. You might know this. Let's actually start here. One of our own, a Slappy seal of our very own community. A member of the Discord, one of the finest amongst us. You might notice that one Mr. Chad Candles finished third in the Dog Bowl qualifier over on Underdog Fantasy. He scored 134.88 points. He's got a lot of good players on this team. He took Dak Prescott and Jake Ferguson as his stacks. Jonathan Taylor and Rico Dowdle, sharply drafted Rico Dowdle, by the way. He takes Jalen Waddle. So what's very funny is that I think the reason that he took Jalen Waddle, I mean, obviously Tyreek Hill is out, but Chad is a Dolphins fan, and Chad actually profited from his Dolphins fanhoodness, which is very, very uncommon. Lots of good players in Jacoby Myers, but I want everyone to give Mr. Brandles Candles his flowers because I think this is a very impressive team. Very cool to see one of the Slappy Seals themselves qualify. Just very nice for someone in the Discord. And I think that there's been lots of people in the Discord. So if you guys want to hang out with all of us and figure out how to win in these Battle Royale games, I think that you should spend the $4.99 a month. Maybe it's $5.99 a month. Click that join button and become a member of the Slappy Central community. Get some members-only videos. Get to hang out with us in the Discord, and let's just all have a nice, good time. But yeah, yesterday was actually, you guys can see here from from this scroll, first time I got absolutely smoked in a Battle Royale slate, which is look, man, sometimes it's gonna happen, right? Sometimes you are not always going to have the nuts. You can see here in my exposures the reason why I got absolutely smoked. Trey McBride, not who you needed, not even close. Tyler Warren, not even really who you needed. Now, a lot of Jake Ferguson, I guess a little bit less than the market. Big issue at wide receiver, though. A lot of St. Brown, a lot of JSN, way too much George Pickens. But basically no Emeka Egbuka, 5.7%. Of Emeka Egbuka, not going to get it done. Emeka Egbuka has the third most fantasy points of any wide receiver ever. Any wide receiver ever the first 5 games of his career. Calvin Johnson, not as many points. Julio Jones, not as many points. CeeDee Lamb, not as many points. Basically, no one as many points as Emeka Egbuka. And then the other issue here, also Jamar Chase only took 7% of Jamar Chase. I was much more, took a bunch of Waddle, took a bunch of Ladd. It's funny, the way I draft is I really don't get overweight too many of the 100% drafted wide receivers. You can see a lot of JMO, but like a lot of Jacoby Myers, a lot of AJ Brown, a lot of Tet McMillan, but like, just kind of the way I draft, I don't end up getting overweight on those guys. And then I honestly felt I did a pretty good job with running back. Ton of Gibbs, ton of JT, ton of Brees, ton of Hampton, ton of David Montgomery. Swallowed my pride on Javonte Williams, 13.4% of him. I guess one of the issues was I chose to do Rachaad White over Rico Dowdle. Feels like a fairly large mistake there. I want to go back in and see the winning Battle Royale team. So the winning BR team, shout out to Broranosaurus Flex. What a name. Broranosaurus Flex. He did Baker Mayfield, so he scrolled the F down for Baker Mayfield. Jonathan Taylor, Slight scroll, not really on Javonte Williams. He was definitely a top 30% player. Emeka Egbuka there at 27 points. Jamar Chase at 26 points. Jake Ferguson at 20 points. Shout out to him. Yes, as Zeus noted, I mean, I basically, with a quarter left of the games, I would have been a huge favorite to win the Wildcat. This team right here was in second place. This team here was second place. Justin Fields, Jonathan Taylor, Rico Dowdle, Jalen Waddle, Marvin Harrison, and Jake Ferguson. Obviously, what ended up happening, though, you guys already know. Jamar Chase scored 1 billion points. Emeka Egbuka scored 1 billion points. Although my team really ended up not being that far behind this. I guess 139.12, 152. So he got 3 points with Dakota Prescott, but he really made up the difference with Emeka Egbuka. Emeka Egbuka outscores Marvin Harrison Jr. by 17 points. Yeah, obviously, Marvin Harrison Jr. getting a touchdown there. I mean, I guess what's the difference there? 139. So that's a $500 difference ish for me. Not that really matters at the end of the day. I mean, I guess it does for for the old ROI numbers, but I'm not really that tilted about it. I think I've been playing incredibly well this year on Underdog, and sometimes you got to give it back. Sometimes it's not going to be there for you, and that's okay, man. It's just not always going to be there for you. You can't always find the winner. I know from looking at stuff that has been posted in the Badge Brothers Discord that, like, my results in the Battle Royale, the post-contest sims, that I've been playing very well. I believe it is wood115.shiny.app or something like that. You can pay them like 10. I think you can pay Wood, if you're here, let me know. You can pay like $10 to run your expected points stuff. But there's it's not just me saying that I'm playing good because I feel like I'm playing good. There's a little bit of mathematical verification there. Purple Yosh says they asked Detroit's corner about the blown coverage on Jamar Chase, and he basically admitted just to trying to stack more interceptions at that point in the game. Yeah, that's what it looked like. I mean, the Jamar Chase stuff is really interesting. I think that Jamar Chase is still probably a pretty clear sell high in fantasy football, but I could be wrong. Jake Browning, if you run EPA per play, minimum 100 plays for each of the last 2 years, Jake Browning is outside the top 45 quarterbacks in EPA per play. He is absolutely brutal. Good day in cash on DraftKings yesterday. I played the team that everyone played, frankly. It's a massive $50 double up. This is very fun. If you guys have not watched the Gilcast, I played the same team everyone played. Justin Fields, Jonathan Taylor, Devin Achane, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jacoby Myers, Chris Olave, Tyler Warren, Rico Dowdle in the New Orleans Saints defense, 192.2 fantasy points. If you look, so this is the massive $50 double up on DraftKings. This team, let's see here. So the 192.22 team starts at 184th place. Scroll all the way down. Keep scrolling. Just keep scrolling. Just keep scrolling. There are, I guess there would be 500 or more teams that 500 or more teams that are sitting there with the exact same score. We will talk a little bit about Showdown a little bit later. In fact, we will probably just go ahead and run the Sims there. That'll be a portion of the program. Also coming up a little bit later, I mean, we're talking like this is probably going to be in like 2 hours or maybe longer. We are going to do a best puck draft on Underdog as well. So hope you guys want to stick around for that. In terms of GPP stuff yesterday on DraftKings, I thought this lineup I played, honest to God, guys, I thought this was so sharp of me until the old cards turned over. We got this was in the SPY. Daniel Jones at 6.5%, Devin A-Chain at 44% owned, Rico Dowdle at 22% owned, Lad McConkey at 11.7%, JSN at 28.4, Michael Pittman Jr. at 13.8, Tyler Warren at 20.5. I thought that was really low owned for Tyler Warren. And then Jahmyr Gibbs at 23.9. And the Houston Texans defense at 26.1. I also really liked doing the Houston Texans. I frankly, I thought that was pretty sharp because the Saints were so owned, ended up not being sharp at all. But the cards turn over. And so at the end of the noon games, well, basically at halftime of the noon games, I've got Daniel Jones, who looks like a smash. I've got Rico Dowdle, who looks like a smash. I've got Michael Pittman Jr. and Tyler Warren, who look like a smash, and the Texans defense, all who look like a smash. So I'm like, okay, this stuff is going really, really well. We are probably like in a spot where we might need to start like re-swaptimizing, re-optimizing to try and find, you know, the winning team. And obviously immediately what happens after that is the Raiders completely fall apart. Geno throws these picks. Amir Abdullah got a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor got a third touchdown. It was just very frustrating because I did feel like Daniel Jones, I mean, the team scored 40. So I felt like that was like a pretty good spot. And it didn't end up going that way at all. What was the winning team in the SPY? Ring Rim scores 230.36 points. He got 31 points out of Sam Darnold. He did play the 14% owned David Montgomery sister narrative, one of the greatest narratives of all time. Rico Dowdle scores 35. Jamar Chase scores 32. He did the double stack. Wow, he double stacked JSN and AJ Barner. AJ Barner at 0.3% owned. That is an all-timer there from one Mr. Ring Rim. Nico Collins at 25%. Frankly, Nico Collins at 25% feels insane. I don't think I ever could have gotten there. Jonathan Taylor in the flex, of course. Wow, he did the early. Ring Rim did the early game in the flex. Early, he did the shit. I mean, this must just be the way to win. And then the Houston Texans defense at 26%. I want to say, Saints defense 22%. Oh, so the Saints defense was actually ended up being a little bit less owned. But yeah, insanely good team. 3% owned Darnold, dude. 0.3% owned AJ Barner. What a play, Ring Rim. I mean, if you're around, man. Very, very sick team there. But again, feel like this was probably, I mean, this was basically straight from a run the Sims team. I think I swapped out Waddle for McConkey from a straight run the Sims team because I thought I knew better. Davis Maddock thinking that he knows better. Many such cases. And then, of course, guys, just the weekly. I mean, it's insane, fellas. The how easy it is to win on FanDuel. FanDuel cash again, just like straight up. Looks like I was behind the train because Mr. Maki Supa, Mr. Andrew Wiggins, he played the other side, so he played Fields. On FanDuel cash, I played Kyler Murray, Jonathan Taylor, Devin A-Chain, Jacoby Myers, JSN, Jalen Waddle, Tyler Warren, and Rico Dowdle. Looks like the big train on FanDuel would have been what Mr. Wiggins played. So he played Justin Fields, Breece Hall, Rico Dowdle, Jalen Waddle, JSN. He also still played Jacoby. Looks like they avoided that team avoided A-Chain, which was a big win. Imagine Igbuka being back over Nico. It is crazy stuff, man. It's been a very interesting fantasy football season. Igbuka being the I don't know. It's like the separation score stuff is so funny. Like, who cares? Who cares about Emeka Egbuka's separation score? So that was the FanDuel cash. Again, just very simple stuff. This was what I played in the $33 single entry on FanDuel. I played Justin Herbert, Jonathan Taylor, Devin A-Chain, Lad McConkey, JSN, Jalen Waddle, Tyler Warren, and the aforementioned Michael Carter, 6.7% owned on FanDuel. $4,000 minimum salary starting running back, Michael Carter. Of course, not nearly good enough because the winning teams all had Mr. Dowd. Wow, the winning team of the $33 single entry was one Mr. 0.08% drafted Jake Browning, Jonathan Taylor, Rico Dowdle, Jamar Chase, Emeka Egbuka, Jacoby Myers on the winning team. Jacoby Myers on the winning team on FanDuel. That's fucking crazy. Jake Ferguson for 20 and Javonte Williams in the flex position with 18 points from the New Orleans Saints. Just a different universe over there on FanDuel. It really is. Let's see what we have here. I honestly do not remember what I played on this team. This is the $75 single entry. This guy won. He submitted the same team. What a sick freak. This guy, shout out to you, PLF 8787. This sick freak just submitted the same team and all these single entry GPPs and just had the absolute shipper. I played a Goff double. I didn't play Rico Dowdle. I didn't play Michael Carter. I played Amari and Hampton at 20%. Devin A-Chain. This team sucks. Yeah, this team is terrible. What was I thinking? Haven't been able to log in on FanDuel in like 3 years, and I still have $7 on the site. Tough scenes. Davis, can you tell me how many yards and touchdowns that Keon Coleman is on pace for? It would be very tough for me to tell because I've heard that he's going for 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns, but it's very hard to say. So, I would say the DFS bags are in a pretty good spot. I'm 4-1 in DraftKings cash, 4-0 in FanDuel cash. I guess honestly, actually, my DraftKings GPP stuff, not really been that good. Like I'm kind of like treading water, but I haven't had a real good sweat on DraftKings GPPs. It's been mostly Underdog and FanDuel for the GPP stuff. I've had an opportunity at a sweat every week on Underdog. I don't even look at this team yet. 47th place in the victory formation. Yeah, not even close. I wonder what the winning team was here. Wow, 3 wide receiver team, Nico, Egbuka, Debo. So I think it would be very, very hard to tell someone straight to their face that Rico Dowdle was a fish play. I mean, he had the 120th best rushing performance in NFL history. So for the entire time that the National Football League has existed, Rico Dowdle just had the 120th best rushing performance of all time. So I'd be hard pressed to say he was a fish play. You could argue he was a worse play than Rachaad White. And I'm open to hearing that. There are plenty of plays are thin, but there's a difference between being thin and being bad. A fish play. Who would have been a fish play yesterday? What running back would have been a fish play? I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. No, all those look good. Who would have been a fish play? God, was there any good? Was there any running back who people played yesterday who was like actually bad? No, Brees is there you go. Jacoby Myers fucking fish play. How about that? No, see, I think I didn't even look at him on DraftKings. Carter would have been horrible on DraftKings. Carter would have been really, really bad. But on FanDuel, I think he was good. Woody's pretty fishy. Yeah, Woody's pretty fishy on DraftKings, I think. Yeah. It's Marks would have been a fish play for me. Henry is very funny. All right, let's see. What should we do next? Let's do the NFFC, cuz I actually have no idea how any of these teams did. I don't know if we won. I don't know if we lost. I don't know if we have sweats yet. So for all this high stakes for the high stakes review, I really try not to look cuz I think it's fun to do this show and find out at the same time. So we're in 4th place right now in this league. This is the co-owned team with Nate. We have 112 points. Piranha has Feeding Frenzy 11, has 94. We started Geno Smith, so maybe we're the fish. He has Hollywood Brown and Tyquan Thornton left. Does he have Worthy on the bench? He does not have Worthy on the bench. And we have the Kansas City Chiefs kicker. So we actually could lose this one. This is just straight up like, bro, we don't got a live. Come on, man. MD, I'm giving you a very small amount of attention that you do want. But what I'm asking you to do is not lie, bro. This dude is like actually like pretty good. He had 4 100-yard games last year alone. I think this is possible. You actually might have Rico Dowdle confused with someone else, which is, hey man, been there many times. Okay. So this team, what do you think? I mean, I would say we're like 70-30 to get a win here. We really need Xavier Worthy to play because this guy has Hollywood and Tyquan. Why is he starting Tyquan Thornton? Didn't start Chubb. I would have started Spears, which I guess saved. I definitely would have started Spears over Thornton. Okay. So that team looks pretty good. We are 3-1, pacing to be 4-1. We are currently 30. We're like 31. No, we're like 46 points behind first. Shout out to Colin Hoffman. Shout out to Michael Sosnowski. Yeah, I mean, can't feel that good about Trevion Henderson after last night for sure. Okay. All right, this is the co-owned team with Soccer Dave. We are 3-1. We have 722 points. Oh God. And we got smoked. All right, so we have 148 points. So we are exactly 30 points behind. Can we get 30 points out of Hollywood and Cam Little? Probably not. So we are going to go to 3-2. My God, this guy just absolutely smoked us. Everyone in his lineup went off other than Michael Wilson. All right. Well, hey, fair play. So we are in this one. Dang, we are probably going to fall to 6th place in this one. That's okay. All right. And here is the silver bullet with Michael Leone. All right. We scored 167 this week. We are up to 3rd place. All right. Let's check live scoring here. Yeah, Demont getting 6 points for that passing touchdown. Very funny. Okay. We are 167 to 126. This guy has 1 player left remaining. He's got the Chiefs kicker. So we are going to win this one. 32 from Fields, 31 from Jonathan Taylor, 15 from Scattaboo. Just like smashes up and down the lineup. 18 from Michael Carter in the flex. Seahawks defense, only 1 point. Very disappointing there. This was a team that lost. We lost James Conner on this team. Yeah, you definitely we cannot be dropping Rico Dowdle. Like no chance can you be dropping Rico Dowdle at all. He very well might have just taken over that backfield. So I would say NFFC stuff is looking fire. I mean, we have a decent chance of being first or second in this league in the silver bullet. So that's really nice. I mean, folks, are we gonna win? We might be winning some NFFC dollars. Let's check up over on the FFPC. Boy, did I this team is so brutal, man. So I forgot to pick up a defense this week for this dynasty team. You hate to see that. Did get Mark Andrews, not great. Got most of the start sits right, whatever. Really good team, but not happening. All right, so here's the high stakes stuff. This is Destroyer. So this is one of the ship chasing teams. We win 155 to 145. 28 ball from Fields. Eked out. This was the slow draft team where we auto drafted Alvin Kamara. Could have been a Maureen Hampton. Very tough. And funnily enough, we lose. Well, we don't lose, but we faced a Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt team with 28 points here. Garrett Wilson, George Pickens only got 2 points from Aronde Gadsden because Brock Bowers is sitting on our bench here. Funnily enough, Calvin Ridley on our bench with 18 points here as well. 31 ball from Emeka Egbuka, 18 ball from Michael Carter. This team, as it sits right now, is the 2 seed based on points, 594.45 points and generating a win. So that feels pretty good. That feels very, very nice. I would say this team is in, man, we are in a pretty good spot with this team, actually. We are missing Mr. Marquise Bucky Irving. We got Isaiah Davis on waivers. We have Ollie Gordon, I guess, if we really, really need him. But Dobbins and Kamara is probably fine until we get Bucky Irving back. I would say that's a really good team, honestly. Here is Alchemy, a 3-1 team that, as it stands right now, is actually unseeded because of points, but we got a bunch of points this week. 170. Jalen Hurts, 22 points. Rachaad White. Got to tell you, these guys that I co-manage these teams with, shout out to Coolers, who is here right now. We have Rachaad White on multiple of these teams. Shout out to you guys for the Rachaad White stuff. Did eke by Chase Brown. Makes me sick. Jacoby Myers, can't wait to drop him. Devonta Smith, 8 receptions for 114 yards. True story about Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson right now is 5th in the entire National Football League in targets. Now we're gonna do after the high stakes stuff, we're gonna do Eliminator, Best Ball Mania, all of that stuff. JSN, Kincaid, Tucker on the bench, Pacheco on the bench, Christian Kirk on the Jake Tonga's on the bench. How about that? All right. And this team is also waiting for CeeDee Lamb to get back. So Alchemy looking also quite good for making the playoffs. Arcade Fire. This is the Slaptastic team with Shope, Jacob Sanderson, and Pat Corraine. We got Jaden Daniels, fucking Trevion Henderson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Olave, Debo. Just so annoying. The whole Trevion Henderson situation. He is like, Ramondre literally could not be worse. And they're just not even playing him. I really cannot fathom. Like, they must maybe Trevion Henderson is just putting together some of the worst practices you've ever seen in your life, because it is brutal. Like, Antonio Gibson fumbles on a kickoff. Trevion Henderson recovers it. And Henderson played yesterday, but not to the degree that you would think. Like, let's see here. If I move it to week range 5, Henderson still only played 48% of the snaps, 35% of the rushes for Henderson, 30%. Gibson still got 30% of the team rushes yesterday on like his 6 rushes or whatever. They're not playing him enough as you would think on the 2-minute drill. And then Ramondre Stevenson yesterday gets 100% of the long down and distance. Yeah, Antonio Gibson was definitely going to get all of the work. Antonio Gibson was going to get all of this work that we thought Trevion Henderson was going to get. Brutal. So Arcade Fire, I would say, is looking quite good, and it is not seeded, but it's going to go to 3-2. So feeling good there. Showgirl, 164. Matt Stafford, babe. And this is even a fucking Derrick Henry team. Jefferson, Ferguson, wow. And Rashid Shaheed, the wide receiver who changed everything. Rashid Shaheed. God, you love it. You love to see a Rashid Shaheed contributing. 20 points from the Saints defense as well. And we are currently the 2nd seed and picking up a win. My God, man. What a portfolio of high stakes teams. All right, this is the co-managed team with JJ Zacharyson, Rich Rebar, Pat Thorman, and Evan Silva. #blessed. If you're searching the leaderboards over on the FFPC, we picked up Michael Carter on waivers for not very much this week. I think we spent $227 for Hampton. Fields, Carter, Hampton, AJ Brown, fucking 2 points from Jameson Williams, 27 points from Jake Ferguson, 15 from Ramondre, 29 from Jamar Chase. Top prize on these is $1 million USD. So you win $6,000 for winning your league, and you can win $1 million for winning the entire tournament. -1 points from the Seattle defense. We have nothing at running back though. After Carter and Hampton's hurt now, so we are gonna have to start RJ Harvey next week probably, which sucks. There you go. Week 6 next week is it's an all play format, so that is a good call. I mean, I think all of these teams are literally pacing to either being in the playoffs or being close. And here is Evermore, which right now is not seeded and is pretty low on points, 491. So this team really probably only gets in on record. But we did pick up a win this week, which we had to. Dart, Rashad White, A-Chain, Adams, Tet, Tommy frickin' Tremble, David Montgomery, Jalen Waddle. Yeah, there you go. There's a Bowers on the bench. 15 from Addison, 15 from Ramondre, 18 from Michael Carter. You do love to see it. Man, fantasy football is going pretty well for me this year. I gotta say, those results are making me feel pretty good. And now let's go over and go check the Eliminator. Feel free to let me know if you guys want me to check any specific thing in the Eliminator. This is probably my favorite contest on Underdog right now. And I'm not just saying that because I'm advancing like one more team over expectation, but right now we are getting through 8 teams of 13. Here's Cheese 24 score. I scored 140 to 132. So Fields, big from Fields here, outscoring to a Derrick Henry Eliminator team. Not something you love to see. So we beat, even beating out a 26 from Javonte. Big Jalen Waddle game. Cooper Kupp is very funny. So for Mr. Cheese 24 Skull to beat me, Hollywood Brown has to outscore 12.4 by 8. So he's got to get like 19 points from. Hey, Hollywood Brown could definitely get 19 points. I could actually definitely lose this one. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but having 30% worthy in the Eliminator went the way you think it would. Well, praying for you, brother. All right, so got a dub there. Check out Mr. Bevel God. Big Dak game for me. He would need, I guess we both had Dak. Big Kyron game. Ooh, he got a big JT game. We both had Hubbard. Nice little 11.4 ball from Scattaboo. And basically the reason I was able to advance in this one was this dude just had no wide receivers. CD injured, Metcalf on bye, nothing from Harris. Slayton gets injured. You know, that's kind of the way she goes. Kind of the way she goes. All right, geared up. What's the dollar amount sweat right here? What are we from week 5 to week 6? What is the dollar amount involved? It's like $50 at this point or something. All right, so I on this one. I'm the team on the left with Jared Goof. So Goof was my only quarterback. CMC, Brees, Montgomery. Oof, every Tank Bigsby pick feels terrible. He got really unlucky with James Cook. We both had Drake London on bye. He just got nothing out of Adams, nothing out of... Yeah, tough scene. And we both had Laporta. That's weird because I wouldn't think Laporta is a big advance rate guy. Oh, Harvey has not looked that good either. I agree with that. Okay. I mean, this team looks just like a full Detroit onslaught. Feels pretty good for advancing. And shout out to a 13.8 points for Dalton Kincaid. Okay, a Fields team. I mean, I guess I was gonna say he could still get me. He definitely can't. A Malik Neighbors team, a Neighbors Puka team. That is dastardly. Oh, imagine if Malik Neighbors was literally anyone else, bro. A Puka JSN team that wasted a first round pick. That is so brutal, man. And Cedric Tillman on this team for no reason. Ray McLeod on this team for no reason. Getting a 2-touchdown Theo Johnson game as well. Man, this could have been the crown gem. All right. Mr. Egghead 22 was in here. Yeah, could have been Puka JT. Give me the odds that Brian Thomas Jr. scores 23 points tonight. Higher than you think. All right. 141 to 117. Big Rico Dowdle game for me in the Eliminator. We both had 80 Mitchell, which is very funny. We both had Dallas Goedert. Zach Ertz scored 0 points. Garrett Wilson, Tet. This team's okay moving forward. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like a crown gem or anything, but we're okay there. All right, TM Longacre. Oh, we had a real slap fight here, Mr. TM Longacre. 105 to 80. Devin A-Chain and Gene T, 4.9 from James Cook. ETN yet to play. Oh, so you were missing Bijan, Connor, and Mixon. That sucks. I still have Worthy left to go. 20 ball from Ferguson. We're both using tight end points. Real pillow fight here. Incredible stuff. Teva King 6, 146.46 to 118. All right. Baker Mayfield and Bryce Young outduel Justin Fields and Jared Goof. Got a nice little 14.9 from J.K. Dobbins. Even Damian Pierce was active here. 0.7 points from Jaden Blue having to count is pretty brutal. He did have a Jamar Chase. Did have a Emeka Egbuka. Wow, losing with Egbuka is running bad. 20 ball from Ferguson here. Really good wide receiver room, or at least wide receiver scores on this team. And the last one. All right. PD's website, bbmdb.app, says this one is 98%. Okay, so facing Mahomes and Lawrence, so he's definitely going to improve his quarterback score. Facing Kareem Hunt. Wow, so he could definitely catch me. Wow, this is you could definitely catch me here, bro. That's not even really that crazy. Because you need Brian Thomas Jr. Well, it'd be pretty tough. Well, maybe not. Because you've got Mahomes and Kelsey and BTJ. So BTJ outscores Wandale by 10. That gets you to 115. Mahomes gets 30. And then Kelsey beats Goddard by 20. Yeah, I have wide receivers going. I mean, I guess I do have wide receivers going. You're definitely not dead, but it's fairly thin. And then got killed. Ruben Zoo killed me here. I have Kareem Hunt and ETN going. He has Travis Hunter going. So ETN would have to outscore Christian Kirk by like 10. And then Kelsey would have to outscore Kate Otten by a decent amount. I mean, it is probably like 5% or whatever here versus Mr. Ruben Zoo. Down 105 to 123 versus OCD OBV. I have, he has Trevor Lawrence remaining and De'Ami Brown. I have Hollywood and Brenton Strange. So pretty unlikely to catch up there. And then these are all 0%ers. These are all done. So shout out to BR Kibby 2 for beating me by 11. Shout out to Randers for smoking me 148.6 to 84.7. And shout out to Kurt Rambus for absolutely putting me in the dirt. 143.9 to 89.4. Shout out to you, brother. Sounds like Amarian Hampton has a sprained ankle. So, you know, whatever you want to do with that. Sprained ankle for Amarian Hampton. All right, so that is the state of play in the Eliminator. Let's check out the Best Ball Mania leaderboard. The Best Ball Mania 6 leaderboard. All right, the top team as it stands right now in Best Ball Mania, QNU 88. He has, I'm only projected to have, I don't think this is true. I think this is for next week, Chris. You're only projected to have 4.66 teams left of you max drafted. So having 8 is solid. I think you, I don't want to lie about myself. I don't want to put myself down, but I believe the math is it goes 150. It's 150 to 75 to 39 to 17 to 7.5. Isn't that right? That's what I don't know. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Who's the one guy you wish you would have drafted more of? This is this is really a funny one. But I think it's pretty clearly Javonte Williams. All right, Chris is telling me to trust him. I trust you. I trust you, bro. I think that Javonte Williams is clearly the guy that I would have wanted to draft more of because the cost was so low. The barrier for him to improve your lineup was so low. Jaden Blue is like Nyheim Hines or whatever. Drafting Miles Sanders is terrible. I think it's just very clearly like if you would have ported over Javonte Williams' stats from last year, which were really bad, he was a horrible player last year. Last season, Javonte Williams got 859 yards and 4 touchdowns, including that one really good spike week guy. Or including that one really good spike week. It really was just pure stubbornness, and I feel pretty bad, and I think that the process was wrong. Because what I should have been doing was I should have been taking some Jaden Blue, some Javonte, and some Miles Sanders. I think scooting the portfolio to have very little Javonte Williams and then a lot of Jaden Blue and a lot of Miles Sanders, I think was bad process, and it should have been something that I reevaluated in the moment. I honestly don't think it has anything to do with an extra year being removed from the injury. I think the Dallas offensive line is just very good. And they're just a lot better than the Denver Broncos. And Schottenheimer is like a decent play caller, and Dak is a lot better than Bo Nix. I mean, it might help, but I don't think it is the only explanatory variable. By the way, shout out to Kunu88. All right, let's do the exercise, guys. You tell me, are we spending $100 on the number 1 team in Best Ball Mania right now? Justin Fields, Jared Goff, Matt Stafford. So he has 3 live quarterbacks. James Cook, Jordan Mason. Wow. Caleb Johnson is Caleb Johnson is on the highest scoring team in Best Ball Mania. How about that? The literal worst pick in fantasy football, Caleb Johnson, is on the highest scoring team in Best Ball Mania. It just goes to show, man, it doesn't matter how many zeros you take. It's all about the league winners. No one matters in fantasy football other than the league winners. Obviously, huge hit on Javonte Williams. It's in week 5, and he's down to 3 running backs, though. He only has James Cook, Jordan Mason, and Javonte Williams. I have not got to the wide receivers yet, but I'm leaning no. St. Brown, Puka, JSN, Flowers, Igbuka, Mooney, Hunter Henry, Mason Taylor, and Tyler Higbee. I'm leaning no. Leaning no on spending this. On spending $100 on this team. Leaning no. No disrespect intended to Kunu 88, but yeah. Okay, this is actually something I'm more interested in. The highest scoring team with Rashee Rice on it. This a random advancing team is worth 128. Okay, well, Paul's dunking on all of us. Yeah, I guess I didn't look at his pod, but I am assuming it is at least to advance. Okay. Highest scoring Rashee Rice team was drafted on August 17th. Champ 21. So he's got Lamar and Stafford. He's got James Cook, Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins, Javonte. Pretty good running back room. Obviously not like nutted out. St. Brown. That St. Brown Puka team. He's got Rashee Rice in round 5. He's got Igbuka, Bateman, McMillan, Thielen, Hopkins. All right. Controversial take. I'm saying no. Controversial take, not spending it for $100. Skeletor just posted this in the Slappy Central Discord. This is something you guys got to see. This guy Pressers Radio, this guy Hollywood Andy, who actually is going to owe me some money. Look at this right here. Rico Dowdle, most rushing yards on Sunday. Wagered $250, paid $10,250. Shout out to Pressers Radio. Shout out to Hollywood Andy. Unbelievably good stuff. All right, here's the deal. I want to find a team today that's so good that I would purchase it for $500. So let's do this. We need to compile our list of guys you had to not have. Okay. So we got to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to refresh the leaderboard. 16.7% advance rate. All right. We got to do the had to not have them list. So I want you guys to start typing in the chat the had to not have them list. And I'm actually gonna keep a tally of this in the timestamp. Yes, the not function is working now. So obviously James Conner, Austin Eckler, Malik Neighbors are all on this list. Braylon Allen. I'm going to put Jaden Reed on that list. You guys might disagree, but I'm going to put Jaden Reed on that list. Tyreek Hill. We're only doing like legitimate season-ending or close to season-ending injuries. I am gonna put Caleb on. Oh yeah, Tillman. Yeah, we're not putting BTJ on, but like Mixon and Najee, yes, we are. So Joe Mixon, Najee Harris, Joe Burrow. Yeah, Joe Burrow definitely on there. James Conner. Bowers is obviously a really bad pick. The 18th rounders you can leave out. Eli Mitchell can get 0 points all year and still be fine. I mean, obviously you definitely do not want to have Bowers right now, but I wouldn't say Bowers is on the absolutely had to not have him list. T. Higgins is pretty fucking close. Yeah, Gibson is a bad because you don't want you know what? Braylon is probably borderline. Aaron Jones is close, but I'm gonna vote no. Pacheco would be an example. Pacheco, we'll do. So first off, we're gonna do the actually had to not have them list. Then we are gonna do the list of guys you really didn't want to have. So that'll be like Brian Thomas Jr., Bowers, Pacheco, whatever. It'll be the guys who are playing but are terrible. All right, let's just do this. This is going to be an easier way to do this. We're just going to actually pull up a draft board. See, Shuck is like obviously a 0, but your third quarterback is a 0. It's like whatever, it's fine. All right, so we're going to go live best ball. We are going to just pull up a best ball mania draft. And we are going to look at the draft board. And we are just going to pull the zeros from here. Chase got 30 points yesterday. Okay. So just looking at the draft board, Lamb, Jefferson, McCaffrey, Puka, Neighbors, Henry is going to be on the list of guys that you don't want. McBride is pretty close. Marvin Harrison's pretty close to the list of guys you didn't want to have. Mike Evans is pretty close. Oh, McLaurin. Yeah, we will do, you know what? We'll do this next. So these are just the season-ending injuries. And then we will do the we'll do the true we're going to give everyone. So I think this is the list. Here we go. JMC, don't tell me what to do. This is my own private domicile. Don't tell me what to do, bro. All right, come on. Show me. No, first off, Travis Hunter. I would be wary. Lad's got 15 yesterday. Lad got 15. We're fine. The lad panic can settle down. Yeah, I also do not want to look at how many Shuck zeros I have, but I know I've got quite a bit. Benson is probably too cheap. Bowers is going to be on the next list. Bowers is going to... This is fucking crazy. Are you guys seeing this? So this is Oh, no. This is actually I read this in reverse. So if you don't have James Conner, Austin Eckler, Malik Neighbors, Braylon Allen, Jaden Reed, Tyreek Hill, Joe Mixon, Najee Harris, and Joe Burrow, if you just avoid those players, you will have generated a 20.8% advance rate. So these guys, I mean, it's week 5 and there's still a Jaguars Chiefs game left to play. All right, let's go. Let's my boy P Punch here. May, Herbert, Stroud, Bijan. Ooh, the Hampton injury, not great. Sutton. I'm definitely not buying this for $100. This team sucks. Sorry, P Punch. All right, Dave the Champ. Fields and Knicks. JT, ETN. Ooh, so he just nailed the 0 running back guys. Lamb, Wilson, Pickens, Sutton, Myers, Igbuka, Wandale, Pitts, Henry, Taylor. I would lean $100 for this team. That's a pretty good team. All right, I didn't mean it, Peanut Punch. I didn't mean it. I take it back. I didn't mean it. But you see what I'm saying about the wide receivers. Will you buy my team, my top team, for $500? I apologize immediately, Peanut Punch. You're clearly drafting better teams than I am. All right, here we go. This is how you get your team featured on the stream. Finding the top team for $500. Top stat NFT, arf arf. All right, top stat NFT. Let's see. Oh, I did the filter wrong. There's a space. There we go. All right, my man. He wants to know if I'll buy this team for $500. Pat Mahomes, Jared Goff, Jonathan Taylor, Jordan Mason, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Javonte, Ollie Gordon, St. Brown, Tet, J-Mo, Rashi, Rome, Coker Lane, KLS. I needed KLS to be QJ here. Ferguson, Jonnu, Fannin. What are we saying? I'm thinking. I mean, it is a Bill team. It is St. Brown. J-Mo is like kind of an anchor. Oh, Ollie Gordon was going higher than round 13. He really was. I would lean yes. I'm leaning yes for $100 here. Yeah, not 500. I'm leaning yes. Yeah, if you're advancing a Rashi, Addison, Kittle team, I'm assuming it's close to a smash. Yeah, Rashi Rice teams, I'm just leaning yes. Rashi Rice is going to score so many gosh darn fantasy points when he gets back. I don't know. I do not know if the people are prepared for how many fantasy points Rashi Rice is going to score upon his return from suspension, but it's going to be a lot. Yeah, a lot. There's a lot of arfing close to the sun with Keandre Lambert-Smith. All right, everyone. Now we can go nuts. Now we can do the you really didn't want to have them list. You guys can tilt your pretty little faces off. The really didn't want to have them list. So just anyone who you're tilting right now. Yeah. I mean, Brock Bowers, we need him to get healthy. How much would you pay to be able to enter a BBM draft right now, like poker late reg, where your draft enters the contest? I'd pay a lot. I'd pay a lot of money. I'd pay $500 right now. This website is bbmdb.app. bbmdb.app. Barkley. There you go. Yeah, I don't really think you want to have Barkley right now. All right, Barkley. Oh, Matt Barkley. That's very funny. All right. Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, James Conner, Austin Eckler, Jaden Reed, Burrow, Malik Neighbors, Gino, JJ McCarthy. Yeah. JJ McCarthy for sure. Purdy for sure. Kittle. I actually think you'd be okay with Kittle right now. You wouldn't be that mad about it. Tyreek, Chase Brown, I think you're not stoked about. Yeah, I'll do T Higgins. I'll do Richardson, even though I don't really think that Richardson deserves to be on here. Caleb Johnson for sure on the had to not have him list. Aaron Jones, I think, is fairly brutal. Yeah, Ayuk is a good one. Ayuk is like such, and I really fell for the Ayuk bullshit too. No, Downs had a good game yesterday. Russell Wilson. I mean, what's the point? Who's drafting Russell Wilson? McBride. Honestly, McBride and Bowers. Like, let's just be so for real. McBride and Bowers have been super disappointing. Not saying that you're not gonna want Bowers in the fantasy football playoffs. Oh yeah, Guerrero, Brian Robinson Jr. Like, we're just trying to find like one of the perfect teams right now. Oh, Burden, you are wrong about Connor. Yeah, Trevion Henderson and Harvey, you do not feel good about. Like, I'm trying to find a team when you pull it up 1 through 18, you were just like, wow, this is the nuts. JMO, yeah, JMO is super disappointing. Jameson Williams, very disappointing. Cup, sure. I mean, whatever. Loveland, yeah, Loveland's been very disappointing. Oh, Jennings, Tank Bigsby. Jennings. You know what? Jennings, I think, has been fine. Calvin Ridley. Yeah, you really don't want to have Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley, Jaden Blue. We're probably going to break PD's website. This probably is like not going to work. You know what? You're right. If you have a perfect team otherwise, I think, you know what? I'm changing my mind again. I'm going back. I'm going back with David. I'm removing Bowers and I'm removing McBride. Because if you pulled up a really good team, you'd be happy to have them. Oh yeah, Joe Mixon and Terry McLaurin. Joe Mixon and Terry McLaurin. We are probably going to break PD's website. Yeah, Pacheco, you really didn't want to have. That's for sure. Pacheco, you're not loving. Ridley had an okay game, but it was all in the fourth quarter. I personally would not want to have Saquon. Saquon looks like shit. You know where Saquon's at in the National Football League in yards per rush attempt? Look at this shit. Saquon Barkley has the same yards per carry as Kareem Hunt, bro. Oh, yeah. Demario Douglas stinks. Demario Douglas is a good one. Demario Douglas. Wait, that's wrong. Demario Douglas. I'm doing that thing where I almost make sense and then can't be consistent. Well, many such cases. Kamara is a really good one. Yeah, you do not want to have Kamara. All right, we'll put Brian Thomas and we'll put Hunter on here. I disagree about Travis Hunter. I think I still would want to have Travis Hunter. But no one agrees with me. Honestly, Travis Kelce, you don't want to have. We'll put Mark Andrews on. This there's just honestly no chance this filter is going to work. Henderson's on there. Oh yeah, Hawkinson and Ingram, terrible. Hawkinson and Evan Ingram are horrible. Jaden Higgins, no. If Xavier Hutchinson can have 2 touchdowns, how about Trey Harris? That's a better one. All right, this is not going to work anyways. We are going to break PD's website. This is gonna it's not PD's fault. Oh, I actually was still buying on Njoku. I was probably the last person. Yeah, take a screenshot of this for reference later. If PD has this working, he might actually be the GOAT. If this works, PD is literally the GOAT. Yeah, Trey, is Jake here? Where's Jake? Ooh. What's the nuts in the first 6 rounds? Yeah, Tillman, I guess, could be on there. There, I knew he'd be there. The nuts would be if you could do well, the nuts would be Puka, Jonathan Taylor, JSN, James Cook. God, round 5 sucked. I guess it would be Rome or Rashi. Every 6th round pick is bad. Look at this. Jennings, bad. Henderson, bad. Harvey, bad. Myers, bad. Olave, bad to middling. Diggs, like bad. Oh, it'd be Debo. It'd be Debo. Debo would be the 6th round pick you'd want. Or Igbuka. Yeah. Igbuka. Hey man, what we're doing here is we're being extremely reactionary. We are not being level-headed. This is reactionary to the extreme. Don't know if you're familiar with what we do here. All right, here we go. PD got it. There are so if you avoided all these idiots, you will have advanced 42.5% of your teams. So there are 17,755 teams that avoided all of these guys. Including, all right, Peanut Punch, we're coming back around. Peanut Punch, if you're still here, or if I maybe just made you angry forever. Sutton, Debo. I guess maybe I didn't look close enough at your wide receivers. Peanut Punch, we're so back. Peanut Punch, we're coming back around. I'm changing my mind. I would like to spend $100 on this team. Yeah, it's genuinely impressive to not be advancing your team. Well, we should be able to scroll to a non-advancing team. No, never mind. I would really like to find a non-advancer here. All right, now let's change the tune, and let's go to let's highlight the 5 to 8 guys you most would want to have right now, including what they've done already, but also including their playoff stuff. So this would be the guys you most wanted to have. The guys you most want to have right now. Most want to have right now. So I would say Puka. I would say Jackson Smith and Jigba for sure. I don't think it's CMC actually. I guess it would be okay, hot take. All right. I'm ready for you guys all to get angry with me right now. I would rather have JSN than Jonathan Taylor right now. Like if I opened up a random team, I would rather have Jackson Smith and Jigba than Jonathan Taylor. The wide receiver scoring is so much harder to find than the running back scoring. Like if you just look at running back scoring, let me pull up 2025 fantasy points. Puka and JSN are, well, honestly, maybe I'm lying, but let's find out if I'm lying or if I'm not lying. All right, so this is running back scoring in half PPR. You've got JT, CMC, and Javonte who are like fairly lapping the field. It is the assignment. Ted is not a silent killer. It's going to be okay. All right, so JT and CMC are lapping the field by like a fairly considerable degree, and then you've got Javonte. At wide receiver, Puka, Amon-Ra, Igbuka, and JSN. Not lapping the field by as much as I thought, honestly. They're really not. Who is the worst pick with an above average advance rate? Oh, I bet whoever was most likely to pick Javonte Williams, like Kavonte Turpin or something. All right. I'll type in Jonathan Taylor. It's just going to be, there's just not going to be very many of these teams. That Garrett Wilson scores the fakest shit of all time. True. I mean, JCM is basically already killing it. JCM is already the running back 19 or whatever. Yeah, honestly, I just maybe this is my worst opinion of all time. But I really would rather have JSN over JT. It's super close. Like I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna trade these guys. Oh, we'll type Igbuka. Igbuka. Give me one more name. It's probably Javonte. Yeah, there's probably a lot of Henry teams being dragged along by Javonte. Could be QJ. Okay, PD says no chance this returns any teams. Well, all right. Hey, it already worked once, PD. It already worked once. Let's see. Let's see if we ran it too far. I think late Judkins is probably the answer, by the way. I think Frog Clone is right. Get the fuck out of here, MacNova. I'm not hearing it. Tyler Warren is a really good answer. Tyler Warren actually is a very good answer. Hey, James Cook sucked last night, by the way. James Cook. Man, my For You page on X, the Everything app, was beautiful. Beautiful last night. Just or this morning. Just the most amount of Bills hate you could ever find. Yeah, PD's right. This probably isn't gonna run. But it might. Oh, you know what? All right, that's a good reminder. Let's all go send PD some money right now. PD, I'm gonna buy you some coffee right now. Over on another tab. But I need everyone to go. I'm gonna post this link in the chat right now. If you guys enjoy this application and if you guys enjoy this program, holy shit, there's literally one team. Holy shit, there's literally one team. There's one. Oh my God. There's one team. I am 0101902. There's one team. Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, and Jackson Dart. Jonathan Taylor at the 205. Chuba Hubbard, Quinshon Judd. Oh my God, he ruined it with his running backs. No, he does not have the nuts. He's got Nick Chubb and Braylon Allen and Miles Sanders. The wide receivers, wow. I mean, this is just insane. This is so funny. How do you ever win at this game, bro? How do you ever win at this game? Yes. This somehow is this terrible. We literally just tried to find the perfect team. And he's got Jerry Jeudy, Pat Bryant, Tyler Lockett, Kyle Pitts, and Terrence Ferguson. I mean, how is this even possible? All right, I just sent $100 to PD, and I want you guys to all go send him some money as well, because how can you replace this moment, bro? You can't. No one is doing it like PD is doing it. So I want you guys to all go send him some money as well. I put the link in the chat. There is a and I'm going to do it again. And actually I'm going to put the link in the description as well for you guys to go support PD. Link is in the chat, links in the description. Please, we want this guy. It's very important to the overall sweat equity of these contests. So please go support my friend. I do have Fantasy Life, but I'm not going to do this because what I'm going to do, this is the last exercise we're going to do before we start looking forward. We're going to go back to PD. I'm going to just refresh this page entirely. And then we are going to we're only going to search for the best picks and see if we can find a team that actually all has nothing but good picks. So like, I want to include like, I don't know. I would say like Woody Marks is a really good pick. I would say Sam Darnold's actually a really good pick. Yeah. Win the way too early wild card. People are saying, all right. So only nutted picks here. All right, so let's start out with definitely Judkins, definitely Tyler Warren. I would say, okay, Javonte and Keenan for sure. Javonte and Keenan. Yes, it's true. You're right. I actually do need to upgrade the banner. But if any of you guys are not on Underdog, it's actually play 5, get 100 right now. Dude, Keenan is a huge win. Dimes is definitely on this list. Daniel Jones is on this list as well for sure. Debo's a very good pick. I'm not going to put him on this wish list. I think Igbuka obviously is much better, and I'm putting Puka on this list as well. Dowdle, not quite. I don't think. QJ, sure, we'll put on there. I guess I don't know. Some part of my brain still is not quite there. I'm trying to think of who else is like. Do we think Scatterboot? Okay, Ferguson. Well, we already got one tight end on. If you did this exercise last year, you would have put. Well, I wouldn't have. I would not have Charlie. Oh yeah, Bill for sure. Corey Krosky. All right, this is already like what? This is 10 guys. Let's just run this leaderboard. This is already like 10 dudes. Behold, I'm absolutely not praying for you. The worthy under 9.5 points is a nightmare for me personally. So no, thank you. Tyler Warren was not a high pick. Tyler Warren is like, what was he? Tyler Warren for most of the contest was after 100. I don't know. Someone could definitely have this. I'm not saying someone definitely does, but someone could. I might need to eliminate Puka. Puka might narrow it down to yeah, okay. There you go. No team has this, so let's start eliminating guys. So first off, let's eliminate QJ and Keenan because they're teammates. And let's see. Yeah, Warren did shoot up a ton at the end. Okay, wait. No one has this? Oh, I think I broke it. I think it's broken. Maybe if we eliminate Daniel Jones, someone will have. I think I broke it though. Yeah, exactly. You want the later guys. Yeah, I think people do have this. I think I literally just broke it. So let's refresh. Let's go Quinshawn Judkins. Let's go Tyler Warren. Let's go Corey Krosky Merritt and Emeka Igbuka. Yeah. Yeah. Judkins and JCM obviously had a huge amount of movement. And then after we run this, we're gonna go look at my teams. Well, I mean, Dubs had one game. All right, so there are 29 teams in the contest that have Judkins, Warren, JCM, and Emeka Egbuka. Let's see if there's any names we know. Not actually any names that I recognize. All right, Icer08 has Lamar, Baker, and Dak. Jeanty, Henry, JCM, Judkins, Dowdle, Smasher, Girendo, Adams, Flowers, Egbuka, Christian Kirk, Torrey Horton, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Warren, Jake Ferguson, Isaiah Likely. Honestly, I feel as if I really feel as if this exercise just shows how crazy hard Best Ball Mania is. Doesn't this just show this is $100 team. I agree. Even dude, Derrick Henry's the low advance rate playoff hammer. But I just feel as if this is such a clear demonstration of how difficult of a contest, an exercise this is. Very, very hard to win Best Ball Mania. All right. Let's check user Davis Maddox teams. We are advancing 18 of 150. Here's my highest scoring team. It has 700 points. It is 121 points ahead of advancing. Caleb Williams and Jared Goff. Breece Hall, Kyron Williams. Of course, it has RJ Harvey. Pollard and Tootin. So kind of weak at running back. Neighbors. Okay, so it's just dead. So this team is actually just dead then. Shout out to Malik Neighbors. St. Brown, Adunze, Egbuka, Dubs, Douglas. Okay, so this team actually just sucks. Isn't that so funny? You literally pull up your highest scoring team and it actually is just terrible. League of Items, a new member of the YouTube channel, Mr. Items. Hope to see you in the disco. What I want to see is I'd like to see how many of my non-advancing teams look any good. So here's a team that's 37 points behind. Fields ooh. Mr. Items, 10 gifted memberships. What a fucking guy. You ask yourself today, I mean, all you do is if you just go sign up on Underdog and deposit, but I'll do you one better, Elbow. I will just provide you a link right there. Elbow Mac. If you just follow that link right there, and then when you go to deposit, if you just use promo code Davis and you play $5, you will get 100. We will be drafting a puck team momentarily, Eggers. Probably in about 30-ish minutes. Moods, I don't know if you're here, but probably about 30 minutes. We'll be doing it. Yeah, this team is dead. Fields, Tua, Rogers, Taylor, Jacobs, Caleb Johnson, Gurendo Sanders. This team's dead. Also has a Jamar Chase 101, so that team's dead. This team is 4 points back. Goff, Stafford, Bijan, Cook, Mason, Ray Davis, so close to dead. AJ Brown, Adams, Addison, Ayuk, kind of dead, but it has Egbuka. Shout out to Tutu Atwell, Laporta, Brenton, Strange. This team is 0.54 points behind. Dak and Stafford, A-Chain Hart, another Caleb Johnson, does have a round 14 bill. Puka and Worthy, Pickens, Pearsall, Higgins, Knoll, Tesla. That team's kind of live. I don't know. I feel as if, honestly, I feel pretty good. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Other than Bowers, So Tootin and Shaheed, I think, are clearly good. Bowers, I think, is clearly bad. Worthy, trending towards being good. Golden, trending towards being bad. Knoll is fine. Hunter, trending towards being bad. Pickens, good, I think. Warren, I think, is good. Goff, I think, is fine. Brashard Smith is like whatever. He was free. Blue is trending towards being bad. Geno is trending towards being very bad. Slayton, awful. JMO, awful. Purdy, bad. Higgins is fine. Jennings is fine. Algier's fine. Addison's fine. T. Higgins, very bad. Hampton, it depends. I don't know, man. I feel okay. I just, here's where I'm at, man, with the Travis Hunter stuff. There's a lot of time left on the clock. Great question from Paul here. I really have to think about this. Would you rather have 100% of Puka and Neighbors or 0% of both? Wow. My guess is, I kind of think it's 100% of both, because you're going to advance 50% of your fucking teams if you have Puka. Like, what is Puka's advance rate right now? Puka's advance rate has got to be like so high. 32% of your team's advancing right now. Is Brashard Smith going to have more playing time tonight? Probably. Probably, yes. Yeah, I mean, okay, you're not guaranteed anything with Puka weeks. I don't know. I mean, don't okay. All right, let's see what the Puka Neighbors advance rate is. 35%. It actually goes up because Neighbors had that 1 giga nuke game. All right. What are we thinking? Let's do Pick'em. Oh, did I not wow, I didn't put it on Twitch today. I forgot to click Twitch. All right, we're up. We're live on twitch.tv right now. Mr. Berdogi 4. My bad, man. I forgot about you. Forgot about the Twitch boys. We're live over on Twitch now. Yeah, Puka, I mean, I would say Puka JT is clearly the nuts. I think you'd rather have, I don't know. Let's first off, let's cook a pick'em because we still have our boost over. Let's do pick'em. Let's do an early BR. Then we're going to do a best puck. Then we'll probably honestly keep hanging out because I got all my work done this morning for the patreon.com/DavisMatic people. So we can probably stream for a while, actually. I know underdog is so scared, bro. They are Hope and Numi and Jeremy Levine. They are all quaking in their boots because they know the fucking second. No, Moods draft is coming up in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. All right. So first thing that I want to do tonight is I want to take Xavier Worthy higher than, well, he doesn't have rushing yards. All right, we're going to take Xavier Worthy higher than 0.5 rush attempts. That one feels pretty obvious. We are going to do, I'm taking Travis Hunter higher than 29.5 receiving yards. They can't stop me. We are going to do Travis Etienne Jr. lower than 64.5 rushing yards. And we are going to take Kareem Hunt. I kind of like oh, they don't even have a downward slider there. Oh yeah, we'll pop up. We will pop up the Slappy Survivor. Spoiler alert: bunch of people got killed there. De'Ami Brown. Oh, let's go! They posted BRASHARD. All right, guys, we got to get this in right now. We got to get this in before it goes up. All right, we're gonna put 25 there. There you go. Okay, seriously. This is going to be at 9.5 yards in like 3 minutes. Xavier Worthy rushing attempt. Travis Hunter higher, 29.5 receiving yards. Travis Etienne Jr. lower, 64.5 rushing yards. All right, I'm going to toss in another. I'm going to toss in another BRASHARD receiving yards. And I'd like to do a full Slappy one. Let's do lower than 2.5 receptions for Noah Gray. And what do we think? Let's do higher than 3.5 receptions for BTJ. Let's put the $50 max profit boost on. And sure, I'll put $50 on this one because we did the old double slider Reno. There you go. There's another one. What's the reason for the ETN under? Chiefs run defense is really good, and they're going to beat them hard. The part of the reason why ETN has been so unexpectedly good. BRASHARD Smith rec yards. Part of the reason why ETN has been so good has been the Jaguars have actually been good. So UD tweeted out the DBQ TD winner. All right, underdog picks or underdog like the main account. Oh, here we go. All right, the winner. He did Darren. Oh, only a 22.2x. Darren Waller, Rashad White, Garrett Wilson, Jake Ferguson. Honestly, great. 22.2. Let's get back to normal. Should I trade AJ Brown, Jake Ferguson, and Chase Brown for Diggs and Cook? Sure. Well, yes. If the Jaguars win, I will be wrong. Yeah, if the Jaguars win, I'll be wrong. Wow. All right. Okay. Now we got to do a ladder. Now we got to do a fun little ladder one. We'll do BRASHARD Smith. Let's ladder him up. Can I do? No, we're going to ladder him up to 24.5 receiving yards. And then we are going to ladder. We're just going to take Worthy for a tud. And then we're going to do a Travis Hunter ladder. We're going to do Travis Hunter up to 49.5 receiving yards. And we're going to put a little boost over on that. And that will be $10 to win $354. Yeah, shout out to our boy Chris Mazzone. Fucking 129x getting the DB winner there. But if any of you guys want to join us over on Underdog, make sure that you're using promo code Davis. Play $5, get $100. $5 into $100. Wow. All right. BRASHARD Smith, longest reception. Yeah, I mean, they did it. It's beautiful. And we're happy that it's there. BRASHARD Smith receiving overs is the slappiest DFS pick'em entry you are going to make in your life. Okay. Let's go. Oh, let's do my primetime bash. I might have already done it. Oh, it's already filled. Let's do one PTP. Wait, is there a primetime bash? Anywhere? Primetime bash? Dog Bowl? Playbook? Nope. No primetime bash. All right, we are going to do a PTP, a primetime Palozza. Then we'll do a BR. Then we are going to do a puck draft. Barkley, Hurts, sure. That's a fun PTP. Fun slate. Yeah, they knew not to do it when Peter was on because they'd have too many people there to take it. All right, let's do. Well, we got the 101. I don't really want to take Barkley 101. More of a portfolio based drafter. Prime time Palozza Strat. All right, so what are these scrolls like here? So the quarterback 4 is Dart. You get down to BRASHARD at running back 8 and LeQuint at running back 12 are definitely clicks. Oh, Daniel Bellinger is a really good click in this slate. Like actually an insanely good click in this slate. He just led the Giants in receiving. He's a much better pick than Noah Gray. Slayton, like a legitimate Q tag. Parker Washington, I think, is good. Hyatt, I think, is good. There are a lot of scrolls here, boys. This is a really fun PTP. I do think Barkley is a bad click, but revenge game against the Giants. Yeah, they are going to be doing a ton of 12 personnel. People forget. They do. They forget all the time. All right. I don't think Mahomes should probably Mahomes as the 103 is probably bad. I think I would do running back in this slate is also kind of brutal. Yeah, they are going to cook the New York Football Giants. It's true. The cooking will be extraordinary. Man. Fun showdown for us tonight. We'll run the Sims there a little bit later. All right, we are going to take Brian Thomas Jr. We're going to take Travis Kelce. We're not going to take Scadaboo because I have something else planned. Yeah, BRASHARD and Tootin Scrolls. I normally do not enter very many PTPs. I probably am gonna. You know what I'll do? I'll max the hurry up because I think it's still 2K to first or whatever. It's a fun way to get a sweat. Yeah, he is going to crush the Giants. It's going to be insane. I literally have not looked. I don't even know who's playing when we pull up the battle royale. I'm very excited. Couldn't go worse than fading Emeka Egbuka last week. I'll tell you that much. There ain't no way. Not going to get worse than that. Wow, 3 wide receivers here for my boy Joey Daniels. Oh, and he takes BRASHARD. He says you ain't getting BRASHARD, bro. All right, I see you. I see you over there. Ooh, mark the calendars for October 19th. Kendre Miller gets revenge on Dennis Allen. I need 15 points from BTJ. Yeah, I see no reason he can't get 15. Okay, we are going to do... Well, I guess we're going to take Pacheco. And then I don't care about the difference between Dart and Lawrence. So we are going to do that. And then we are going to take... We're going to take Parker Washington. That's a good little scroll. And Lawrence or Dart, I don't really care about the difference. I guess honestly on this team, Lawrence obviously would be better, but it doesn't really matter. If you cite Brashard Smith and Byshell Tootin as a reason to max the hurry up, you might be a slappy. I'm thinking you might be right about that one, brother. I'm thinking you're probably directionally accurate there. I'm assuming Puka is the 101. Do I think there's any advantage to drafting BRs earlier in the week? Absolutely. Yeah. There are combos that you can't get. Like, for example, last week, if Breece Hall would have been one of the winning guys, the only way you would have been able to get Breece Hall with some of the other, like, Breece Hall was a 6th round pick on Monday and Tuesday last week, and he ended up being a 3rd round pick. Some people don't like drafting them early without projections, but if you know what the projections are going to be, then you can skate to where the puck is going, and there's a lot of edge there. All right, we got Dart. All right, there you go. So there's a little bit of PTP action. We are still 50K to first, 64,308 entrants in the BR this week. Looks like the early 101 is CMC and JT. I don't know. I think it's Puka. So I'm going to rank Puka as my 101. And if the market disagrees with me, we will figure that out later. No, basically all my pick'ems yesterday got crushed by like one leg. Well, yesterday would have been imagine you could have swapped to Theo Johnson yesterday. All right, I got the 106. All right, let's go results, champions. This one was pretty painful. Lost had a 7 out of 8 here. Lost a 7 out of 8 here. Javonte Williams scoring a touchdown. So felt pretty good about this one. Lost that one from the Nez show. This one was insane. DeMarcado receiving yards, he gets none. This was the one with Nez, and then Cam Scatterbu higher rushing yards. That one sucked. This one was fucking miserable. Krosky Merritt rushing yards, JSN receiving yards, Montgomery touchdown, Io Manor. That was the one from Oh, I swapped to a bunch of Dowdle. I ended up I ranked Dowdle and Rashad White really high, so I got a lot of Dowdle from there. Not enough. Oh man, yeah, this one missed by one. A-chain receptions, just some miserable stuff. But yeah, shout out to me for putting all my money in on David Montgomery to score a rushing or receiving touchdown. All right, so it looks like Lamar is a Q tag. Dak is really strong. Herbert, not as strong as the projections think, actually. I definitely think Stafford and Adams is going to be pretty nice. Ooh, Jordan Love and like Romeo Dubs, Matthew Golden, Tucker Kraft, Daniel Jones, and Tyler Warren again. I don't think Brock Purdy's going to play. Darnold looks pretty good. Kyler in the dome. I don't know, man. Can I do the Kyler thing? Ooh, my dog bowl had Brock Wright, but no Brees. Oh, tough. All right. Easy JSN here. Now the question is, do I just take Javonte? You know what? I'm taking Kyron. I like Kyron more than Javonte. So sue me. Yeah, Kamani Vidal, never wrong, just early. Would you trade away Jackson Smith and Jigba to get BTJ, Kittle, and Henderson? I would not, Jason. I would not do that. Would have hit for 2K if Mason got 8 more yards and QJ's touchdown doesn't get called back. Yeah, tough scenes. A lot of cases like that. I mean, obviously that's the way she goes. You know what? After we do the best puck and then we run the sims, I might do a couple more of these because I like the way the board is sitting here early. Dude, if I just go 6v6 the other way, I win all the money. I win all the money. All right, I sent the StreamYard to Moods. We will be doing a best puck immediately after this draft. Okay, let's see here. So in terms of scroll running backs, God, Derrick Henry is the running back 11. Do you have it in you to take Dowdle against Dallas? Hey, Davis, it's me again. You were right. I would take Gene T over Henry. Hey, you know, I'm not here to victory lap, man. I'm really trying to do my best on the victory lapping stuff. Sharbs, maybe. Not Henderson. So running back peters out pretty quick, actually, this week. Meanwhile, at wide receiver, you've got like BTJ, Pearsall, Hunter, Dubs, Golden, Sky Moore with an ADP. That's a good bit. Always takes a little bit of while for that stuff to clarify. Wow. Quinshon Judkins. I'm calling generational here on Quinshon Judkins. Tucker Kraft is a really, really, really strong pick. I don't really have a quarterback set up yet. I don't really want to take Ferguson. I'm going to take Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle will be an ADP riser for sure. I would assume that this is true. I do not know that this is true. That Carolina will be extra cautious with Chuba Hubbard's calf after the Dowdle blow-up game. I would assume, but there's no way to know. Some of these coaches really hate to bench guys after an injury, right? I mean, that's just the way it goes. Like some coaches literally would rather do anything other than bench them. All right, T Bear says Gene T and Ridley are too cheap. So we've got Gene T is the running back 7, and we've got Ridley. Ridley is the wide receiver 28 is pretty cheap. I'll give you that. Now, Daniel Jones, man. Marvin Harrison Jr. against that secondary, boys. Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna do this later. I probably will do this. This will probably be out at 3 p.m. Central Time, VV, the YouTube short for Pick'em tonight. Because I'm gonna stream probably for another hour. And then I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna let my dog out and get a little bit of sun, then I'll come back in and do some more work. Yeah, the Kyler game yesterday. That was that's what we call an all-time loss. By the way, I meant to pull this up earlier. The freaking Survivor, man. We are in the Slappy Survivor. We are down to 48 entrants left. I only have 1 entry left in the Slappy Survivor. Look at this. I have 1 team left. Last week, the Cardinals and the Rams knocked out 60% of the remaining pool. Incredible things. And by incredible, I mean horrible. All right. So do I want to take Darnold, or I think you gotta do the swap here. So we're gonna take, God, do I do a double swap-a-roonski here? I think we do. I think you just go Bowers, Lamar, and either I have Bowers and Lamar, or I've got a double swap-a-roonski. So first look, BR team, round 6 Lamar. No, round 6 Lamar, Kyron, Judkins, JSN, Waddle, and Bowers. We got the double swap-a-roonski. And now we're gonna draft a best puck draft, and we're gonna draft it with my good friend, Mr. Moods. So if you guys don't want to engage in any puck, then you guys can head out. For how long? How long is this going to take us, Moods?
Probably 40 minutes, if I had to guess.
All right, 40 minutes. Everyone else, you guys can bail for 40 minutes. I really, really fucking hope that we get the 101 so that we can take a Nathan McKinnon team. How you doing, man? Give me the. So I got your best puck manifesto pulled up. Tell me, give me the TLDR.
Yeah, man. Well, one, thank you for reaching out. I've literally followed you since I was like a sophomore in college. You're only a few years older than I am, but
No, I'm
so
very
you're
old.
always the one I related to.
That makes me feel older.
Yeah, but you were the main one I related to with the Fantasy Insiders guys.
Wow,
But no,
many such
so
cases.
yeah, so what we're looking at is nothing too dissimilar from your normal best ball mania or whatever. There's 16 rounds. There's a lot of deep strategy you could do, and my newsletter covers a lot of that. You're showing it right there, and then I did a lot of work last year too, and not much has changed year over year. But basically, when you're going into a draft, you're really just looking to balance your positions appropriately. That balance is normally 4 centers, 6 wingers, 3 defensemen, 3 goalies, or 3 centers and 7 wingers. Importantly, 2 wingers score per week. One of each other position scores per week. And the minor wrinkle year over year is that now 2 flex positions score. And if you're not familiar, that's just any position that's not goalie. So think of goalie and quarterback is pretty similar, except your stacking doesn't really matter. Your goalie stacks you don't really care about versus obviously it matters a ton for your quarterbacks. So I hope the football people out there, give it a shot because there should be a bit of overlay. It might not overlay in the true sense, but reduced rake relative to expectation. Yeah.
All right, Chris, if you are watching this, Chris, I don't think he watches very often. I know he watches sometimes. Chris, I'm begging you, bro. I'm literally begging you, dude. Take Connor McDavid. He just got a contract extension today.
Dude.
Just do not take Nathan
McKinnon.
Hold on.
I will say I have 18% Connor McDavid and like 2% McKinnon. So I am on Team McDavid this year, Chris. So do us a favor, grab Mr. McDavid there and do us all a favor because I did some diving into the Colorado news of the day to make sure I wasn't missing anything because I knew where your heart was.
Yes. So for my boy, I just typed Rockies in there. So we've got Makar. We've got Nishkinen should be clickable. And then I assume Landeskog is gonna play. Okay, well he took McKinnon.
Yeah.
So never mind.
So yeah, McDavid is definitely, I think, the best pick on the board, just generally speaking. As far as the other guys in Colorado there, Landeskog should play. It's so hard to know what
he didn't play for 2 years and then he returned in the playoffs.
He had his knee replaced. Him playing an 82 game regular season just seems unnecessary because this team should be really good. So I personally don't have any of him. I much prefer his center and Brock Nelson. He's also on the top power play there versus Landeskog is not currently on the top power play. So Nichushkin, Nelson, Landeskog is that second line. If you really like Landeskog, just try to get Nelson and Nichushkin and you'll profit if, Landeskog's really good, I think. The really cool thing about Best Puck too is that you're not really drafting guys who are super thin. I'm looking at some of my teams while watching you earlier and I've got guys that aren't even in the league right now. I took Mike Williams and he retired or something. In the big board or whatever it was called. So that just doesn't really happen here. You're just drafting a much narrower pool of players in football versus it's fairly wide in NHL. So that's I think that's it makes it the easiest sport to just get introduced to. A couple of obvious things that you'll notice, I'll take Cale Makar, I think my second share of Cale Makar here, but Alexander Barkov still has an ADP. He tore his ACL and MCL last week, so he's out for the year. So just don't auto draft him. Anyone out there who's trying to get in the streets, that's why he has a 0 projection, but it doesn't stop the auto drafters from taking him.
Right.
And it's really fertile waters, I think. It's still tough, but it's not anything dissimilar from the other sports. And again, if you watch hockey with any semblance, you're going to know almost every player you're drafting up until like pick 120. And if you don't watch hockey that much, you'll still probably know like the first 10 guys. And then from there, you're just kind of building out the positions, like I said.
Okay. And then in terms of like rankings, projections, like is there an ETR of hockey? Like if I was like, or if I wanted to like, I'm watching this right now, this contest locks in what about 26 hours or something like that, and I wanted to just toss in some auto ranks or whatever. What am I doing there?
I would say, I mean, I'm not aware of anything super prominent like ETR. There's been a couple guys dropping in and out of the Discord saying like, "Hey, here's like ranks that you pay for, whatever." I just use ADP, honestly. Like, yeah, I'm fading some guys, and if you read, my stuff, I talk about some of that. But like in general, it's pretty sharp. I've reviewed, especially in the article that you were sharing earlier. Like I reviewed drafts based on just getting current ADP value, and it is so significant. Like just if you scroll down a bit further, like if you look at this, the total EV by ADP buckets, it is that's closing ADP, but there's a chart somewhere with current ADP. Like if you just draft around ADP, you're just gaining such an advantage already. It's one of those things where like, yeah, you can be fancy and pick the best plays or whatever, but the market's pretty efficient. Injuries are obviously pretty random. There's nothing like football where the running backs get hurt some significant portion of the time more. So you're kind of well off just like focusing on ADP, trying to dip down the board to grab stacking partners, and that's about it. And stacking is really easy because there's really only one function that matters for fantasy, and that's the power play. And because we're only drafting, the 5 best players on most of these teams, they're
Right.
all likely to be on the power play together. So, like, yeah, the 5-on-5 lines will change and yada yada, but like it's a very minor part of like the stacking and the power of it, correlation wise. So, I don't want to oversimplify it, but I do think it's a lot easier than it might appear when you're opening up a board and you don't recognize half the names or more than half the names.
And then in terms of like positional distributions, is it like with like goalie, you want to have extras because they get banged up and sometimes goalies suck? All
yeah,
right, we're on the clock.
You're on the clock. I like Panarin here. He's back healthy for the Rangers. I really like the Rangers this year to be a really strong team. They missed the playoffs last year, but JT Miller's there. I think they've got a really solid group of top forwards that should propel them in, and you get some nice center options later on.
How do you feel about spending on goalie? Like, do you think like taking Shesterkin here is like my sense is it's terrible.
So I personally, in rounds 1 and 2, I'm not taking the Vasilevskis, the Hellebucks that go. After that, you do need to make sure you get goalies. So I have no problem taking Igor here. I'm about I have 8.3% based on the Brick Draft Caddy, so I'm right in line with the field. With goalie, it's interesting. There's basically 32 starting jobs, and the data has shown that it's just optimal to be drafting 3 goalies. And with 36 goalie slots to fill, like there's just not enough goalies. So I would pick Igor. Or Bouchard, it's fine. Actually, Bouchard.
I don't know who I picked. Okay, well, I picked Bouchard because that was who was in my queue, but I was in on you. Fine. I just wanted the teammate pairing there, and I knew
that makes sense.
I knew I was gonna come back.
I'm pretty sure I took Bouchard like 7 times yesterday in like 11 drafts because I kept getting McDavid or Draisaitl, and I'm just jamming him. I love his profile. He's like a goal scoring defenseman, which is incredibly rare. But anyway, about goalies, there's just a supply issue that there's not at the other positions in terms of just literal starts. And when it comes to the playoffs, what you need to recall is that this is not like the NFL where every player on your team is going to get 4 quarters if they're healthy. Come the playoff weeks, some teams are going to play 2 games, some teams are going to play 3, some teams are going to play 4. Even the Pittsburgh Penguins have 1 week, the first week of the finals, where they play 5 games in a single week. So like that's going to matter a lot. And so just having goalies that are functional gives you a better chance to sort of mix and match like your starts, even if they're good or bad. Like that hardly matters once you reset into the playoffs. And so that to me is why the 3 goalie build just makes optimal amounts of sense. You're not over investing in a position where you can only score 1 guy, but you're also not leaving yourself completely screwed if, one of your goalies gets hurt. And then if you take two goalies, you only have one left and, he plays 2 games and loses one. You're just kind of screwed. So it feels like that's why the 3 goalie build works the best.
Now, isn't it true that, like, for some of these teams, obviously not for most of the teams, but a lot of these teams are going to have 2 goalies get more than 15 starts or whatever, just because one of them will suck, one of them will get hurt.
Yep.
Just it'll just happen that way. Like, I don't know the specifics of any of these, but I don't know.
If you're a lapsed hockey fan, you'll remember 20 years ago, Martin Brodeur, Patrick Waugh, they'd play 70 games in an 82-game season, if not more. Nowadays, like, the best goalies are getting 60, and 65 is like a holy shit type of season. So yeah, it is certainly the case that it's more split down the middle than before. What that really does, though, to me is I think it makes the top end of goalies even more valuable, more so than it introduces guys to the back of the draft that you want to take. All it does is it says, hey, if you're reliable for 55 starts this year, then you are going to be significantly more valuable than a goalie with 45 starts, because as the weeks stack upon each other, you're getting an extra start, once every 2 to 3 weeks versus those guys later on. There's no guarantee. Goaltending is voodoo. It's fairly random, year to year, who's good and who's bad. But we do have a pretty good sense of how the hierarchy is for almost every team in the league right now. I mean, the season starts tomorrow, so there's only a couple teams that I would say are even a question of like who the starter going in is. And then the delineation is mostly based on team talent and strength of role, which includes their goaltending talent, but also just like, what do they think of the guy behind them, basically.
All right, give me your goalie sleepers, or like your round 6 or later or whatever. Yeah. Like these are guys who can prevent you if you're not able to get Shesterkin, Hellebuyck, Vasilevsky, whatever.
Yes, my breaking case of glass goalie is Darcy Keumper. And again, I wrote about this in my most recent newsletter.
Is he still on the Minnesota Wild?
No, he's on LA now. I believe he's had 2 stops between.
Yeah, that would not surprise me. I
mean,
pay
he's
attention.
Bounced around.
I pay attention to literally one team in hockey.
Yeah,
like literally, I cannot name. Like, I do not know who. I was about to say someone I did know. Like, I don't know who Mackenzie Weegar is.
Okay, well, yeah, that's a guy who I have like pretty much none of. So the chat can take that for what it's worth. But as far as your pick here, I think a goalie's fine or a winger. I would not overinvest in the center or D positions if you're new to this. Again, because you have to score 2 wingers per week and because the goalie field dries up. And it also just seems to be the case when you get to later on in the draft that the center options are just much more plentiful. They're going to score higher in general. So making sure you get like the top tier of wing is always more important to me personally. But again, this year with the extra flex versus years past, it is a bit more forgiving.
I like these 3 wingers because I know who they all are.
I like Seth Jarvis. I would go with him.
Does he have anyone later that we can stack with him?
Yes. Yeah. He has a couple of line mates in Sebastian Aho and Nick Ehlers. Ehlers was on Winnipeg before this year. He's new there, but he's coming in top line, top power play right away. So those are 2 very clear options. And there's some secondary options you could stack. Andrei Svechnikov, last round D, Shane Gostisbehere, like, could be okay.
The old guy from Philly who was supposed to be like the greatest guy of all time, and then he wasn't actually that good. I did want to take Jacob Sanderson for the bit, but I didn't want to overinvest in defensemen.
Not to get too over my skis here, but Josh Norris is one of my favorite picks in the late rounds.
Is he a defender too?
He's a center, but he got traded to my team, the Buffalo Sabres, last year. But he's been a long time Moods dude. So that's been fun to see in training camp. He's playing with Tage Thompson, like the Sabres.
Are the Buffalo Sabres still like
they're still a joke? Yes.
I was gonna say, when I watched like weekly, like regular season hockey, the Sabres were like literally the poorest excuse for
they're not that. they're not that anymore. You know, they true on tanked for Connor McDavid and, you know, ripped it down to the studs in like 2014, 15, probably when you were a sicko DFS grinder.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
since then,
this was pre who was the guy they drafted?
Jack Eichel.
Eichel. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was pre Eichel even.
Yes. The team has basically been in a few rounds of like, all right, we're going to be good this year, and then they show some really positive signs, and the next year they just regress. So you know, it's still looking unlikely, but this year a lot of the fancy models like have them breaking the playoff drought for the first time. You know, not to say it's a guarantee and whatnot, but there's a lot of circumstances around their division specifically that make it more possible for them to make it than in years past.
Dude, Brett Burns is an Avalanche player.
Yes, he is very old.
He's got to literally be like 43.
I think he's 40 on the dot.
Oh my god! Please tell me John Tavares is clickable.
Yes,
I like Timo. Actually, I like Timo Meier a lot.
Okay. Yeah, Timo. He's been a moods dude for a while too. In New Jersey,
I was literally watching when Tyler Ennis played. That's actually a name I very much remember.
That's crazy. I mean, I understand why you would connect with him, but the fact that that is a name you recall is wild.
Oh yeah. Oh, I like Dylan Larkin too.
Oh well,
I
need to leave.
He's got to be old.
No, Dylan Larkin's not. He's like 28. He's not super old. He's just been around forever. He's like definitionally to me just a guy.
All right, can we take Tavares here?
Yeah, I like Tavares.
He's got to be another guy who's super old.
He is. He's still very productive though in Toronto. He had one of his best years last year. There's no Mitch Marner in Toronto anymore.
They finally traded him, right?
He left in free agency. He said, "I'm done with this
shit."
Right.
That's right. That's right. I remember many long Jacob Sanderson tweets.
So yeah, here is where you're getting to an interesting spot.
Do we take Islanders for the correlation?
Yeah. Sorry.
Or do we take a goalie?
Oh, you can take Ehlers.
Ehlers or Benning.
Sense. I would take Ehlers. The wing there.
All right, there we go. So we have our Carolina stack. Is there anyone to take with Panarin later? Like, do they have like a defenseman or something?
They've got their defenseman Adam Fox just went a bit early, I think, for him. But they have Mika Zibanejad and Vinny Trocheck to keep an eye out for. Trocheck should be gone by the next time you're on the clock, but in a few rounds, look for Mika Zibanejad.
What happened to Tarasenko? Is he just can't stay healthy?
He's just got older. He's a weird case. I mean, if you're really a sicko into hockey and somehow you don't know who I am, I do a podcast called Boyne Skate Podcast, and we do DFS slate coverage. But we did a season preview this just yesterday. Me and my co-host, my best friend growing up, and we did like a draft of just things we care about. And one of the ones that I mentioned was Marco Rossi versus Vladimir Tarasenko. And not to get too much down the Marco Rossi hype train, but basically have a young guy who we thought was going to be on the first power play now. And Vladimir Tarasenko showed up in camp and scored a goal. And they were like, all right, you're on our top power play now. So I don't necessarily think that's sticky, so to speak. But it could stick if he's productive. But yeah, he's just had a tough couple of years. Some of it health, also just age, and the way he plays isn't necessarily conducive to losing a step, let's say.
I mean, I feel like guys are able to play hockey forever, though. Like why is that? Why can I literally take 40-year-old Brent Burns in a draft? Like I would feel like hockey is so physical, and I've never understood how that works.
Yeah, I mean that's mostly the superstars. Your body just doesn't break down the way, for a running back or whatever. Like, I guess even basketball, it's like very strict athleticism. I mean, LeBron's still around. And like that to me is sort of what I think about. Like, I mean, Brent Burns was legitimately, an all-world type player at his best. So yeah, he's many steps behind that now. But I wouldn't necessarily say that, that's the rule there. Like Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin, like those are guys that are still in the league. Otherwise, you're really hard pressed to find that many productive older players. Maybe I'm wrong, and I'm just a little biased from my perspective, but it does kind of
Oh,
feel like more
you
and
do
more
you
like the
get
young
points for
man's game.
blocks in this? I guess I should have asked that already. Do you get
Yeah.
you? Oh, okay. So some of these shit defenders who play like 26 minutes actually are clicks.
Yeah, the Uyghur and Cider, those are two guys that are very clearly of that mold. They're also on their team's top power play for the moment. I think there's some risks to both of them losing that job because they're just frankly not that good at it. Um, but that is like why some of these defensemen become fantasy cheat codes. Another little strategy bit that I personally believe is that a guy like Zach Werenski was going in round 9, I think, last year. He went in the second round. He's been going in the
We're
second
up.
round.
We need to take a
Oh,
winger or a center, probably. Actually, probably a
take
goalie.
take yeah, I would take Drake Batherson and then grab a goalie if your next pick.
Drake
Or Dylan
Batherson.
Holloway if you want to go St. Louis. Okay.
Oh, I don't give a shit about the St. Louis Blues. My
All right.
my my wife and my in-laws probably would like me to, but I don't care at all.
Got it. Um,
Uh,
so yeah, I would just go goalie here. Logan Thompson, Joey DeCord, Vishmalka. It doesn't really matter who you take. So I don't know if you know any of these guys.
no,
So
I literally know nothing. I took the Utah guy because I think it's fun that there is a
cool.
Utah team with like are they still called the Utah Hockey Club or do they have a?
No, they're Davis. They're called the Utah Mammoth now.
Oh, I knew. You know what? I did know that. I
I
actually did know that.
I am so unnecessarily triggered by that. Like
Oh,
it's a
I like it.
singular mammoth. It's mammoths. Like there are many mammoths. Why is
Yeah,
it
but
Utah
they're
Mammoth?
doing the European thing of like
Uh,
like
I mean,
like fake soccer names.
if you want to do the
Uh,
European
is
thing,
is is Nugent Hopkins clickable? I know him.
he's
I know Ryan Nugent Hopkins. This
he's
this will be
he's
a
fine.
good bit. How many of like the guys who after like pick
Yeah,
200 do I know? Because they're probably way more likely for me to know them.
yeah. I
Like
think
Like Colton
190.
Parayko, know him for
Yeah,
sure. Mark Stone, know him. He's about 1 billion years old. Frederick Anderson used to be the goalie for the Anaheim Ducks. Know him. Oh
Jesus,
man,
the Anaheim Ducks and Freddie. That's so funny.
Anders Lee.
Yep,
I remember when he used to be line mates with John Tavares for the New York Islanders.
indeed.
Patrick Kane. I mean, legend. Patrick Kane, Chicago Blackhawks franchise legend. Aaron Ekblad. How is Ekblad not good?
Um,
When I used to
he's
play NHL,
he's rugged.
he used to be like a $6,000 power play one defenseman.
Yeah, it's weird. He's gonna be power play 1 for this team, and they've won the cup 2 years in a row, and like he's just like a rugged son of a bitch. He's not really like super like skilled or anything. He's really never been that, but yeah, he'll shoot and he'll block, so that's probably why the DFS streets were littered with Aaron Ekblad. I do expect that he'll be a guy I'm pretty heavy on early in the season. But yeah, he's certainly not like the most reliable guy as far as health or like just overall talent profile. But he's a totally fine click in my opinion, especially because now he goes undrafted in some drafts.
What's your single favorite stack that is like easily accomplishable in a given draft?
Ooh, that's a good question. So easily accomplishable isn't necessarily the case, but Mikko Rantanen in Dallas, I have a ton of time for. I think that team is loaded top to
I mean,
bottom with talent.
he just murdered the Colorado Avalanche in Game
Yeah.
7. Is one of the most incredible hockey performances I can ever remember.
Indeed. When you look at his overall portfolio, like from his 25 games with the Stars, it's actually not that impressive when you consider he had hat tricks in two periods between the third period of the Avs game and then I think the second period in their first round or their first game of the next series. Like he had hat tricks in 2 periods and he still didn't look great. But I'm just buying that like this team is just going to be awesome and that Austin Rantanen's the linchpin of it. They have 2 super productive like power play units, 2 really good lines, 2 really good defensemen. So Rantanen plus a Dallas Stars player is definitely my most drafted like combination. But as far as like specific 2 players, I need to consult my my exposures for that, because a couple of the players that I'm thinking of, like Matvey Michkov and Dylan Gunther, don't necessarily have pieces that I'm racing to the podium to get a piece of.
All right, we only have one defenseman. We have one defenseman starred.
Yeah, you have. So I will say you have Evan Bouchard. So I would not prioritize defensemen.
Okay.
Like you can fill in your D room fairly easily.
I like
up.
Dylan Stromey. Is Stromey a click here?
If you don't have a Washington guy, I wouldn't. So what I would do if you want Strome, I would take Chikrin now. He's a defenseman at the top of the board, I believe.
No, we're gonna take. We need a Ranger.
Take Big Val.
Yeah, we're just gonna do that. We're gonna do that.
But yeah, Dylan Strome just doesn't shoot. So it's like one of those things where like, yeah, he could be productive, but it's him getting 6 assists in a week. And, you know, the guy you took, Alec Ovechkin or Tom Wilson, or, you know, they're just going to have the goal scorer that week, it seems like. So I'm a little bit like skeptical taking him.
So basically, winger
Davis right here, grab Mika Zibanejad center. That's who you want, I think.
I was going to say, I remember this dude. He's got to be about 100.
He's a bit older, a bit long in the tooth. The reason he goes so late is he was
that fucking guy for the Minnesota Wild. He was on the cover of the NHL video game. He literally played forever.
Gaborik.
No. This guy was on the cover of like NHL 2007.
Zach Parise?
Zach Parise.
2000. Oh, well, he went there in like 2011. So no, not
Zach
2011.
Parise, hockey.
2014.
How old is this dude? Zach
he
Parise,
retired a year or two ago.
He's 41. He played for Colorado. I remember just being like, how is this guy on Colorado? Colorado they've always loved to do this, by the way, my whole life. They love to bring in great players for like literally their last year.
Dude, they had Jerome McGinley.
They had Jerome McGinley. They had on the team that won the 2001 Stanley Cup, they had Ray Bork. Yeah, dude. How about
that's like the most famous the most famous cup win almost ever.
It's incredibly Chiefs and Ravens of them. The Avalanche have to be one of the league leaders, and that guy does not look right in that jersey photos. They had Timu Solani for the final year of his career. Like they love to do that stuff, which is very fun. It's also very funny that the Cronkies own the Colorado Avalanche.
Dude, it's my other like best friend from high school. One of them I do a podcast with. The other one worked in esports. He got out of it to make money actually, but he worked for a Call of Duty organization that was owned by the Cronkies. So he sat in the Rams suite one night with Margot Robbie. You're just like a normal ass dude from my high school. I was like, damn, that's something, all right.
Okay, this is what we have. We have 5 picks left to make. We have Connor McDavid, John Tavares, Mika Zibanejad, Artemi Panarin, Seth Jarvis, Nikolai Ehlers, Drake Batherson, Valerie Nishkinen, Evan Bouchard, Mackenzie Blackwood, Carol Vejmelka. See, people don't know that I know the good European pronunciations because I watch a bunch of soccer. Yep. So I can get the it's the pronunciations that are going to mess me up are going to be if they're non-Eastern European, like the Eastern European names Finns. I can get. Yeah. The Scandi names are sometimes a little bit. Damn, I liked Morgan Riley too. Yes. Who are we thinking for our third goalie here?
Yeah, so goalie at this point gets fairly thin. So this is why I sort of say
Jet Greaves is a great name.
It's an A+ name. Greaves is okay. My favorite after Askarov goes off the board or Luukkonen is actually Sam Ersson for Philly. I just believe he's the starter, and I think that Philly they've had historically bad goaltending, but they changed their coach. They had John Tortorella, just like this gruff guy that made all of his guys block shots, and that they've been pretty open with the fact that it made their life difficult, like not being able to see the puck half the time because there's dudes flying toward it like kamikaze planes. So I like Sam Ersson. The team could be a bit better. I think he has a pretty stable role. if you're really feeling like rolling the dice, though, Tristan Jarry is like a bona fide starter with Pittsburgh. It's just a matter of they might actively tank the season. But a lot of the paths toward Jarry going somewhere else to be the backup via trade, like Edmonton or something like that, they've pretty much fallen flat. So if you want to just be safe, you're totally fine taking one of them now.
Can I
If you want to
take
run
Brock
it a bit,
Nelson, or is that
yes.
bad positionally?
Yeah.
There we go.
So you can take him.
My boy Brock.
Yeah, I would say in general, when you take Connor McDavid, taking 4 centers is not something I would do, but it's much more
I can use this score in
survivable.
the flex though.
Yes, but it's much more survivable this year than in years past, where years past only scored 2 centers at maximum. Now you can score 3. Again, the thing to consider though is that you have to score 2 wings every week, and you can score them in the flex too. So that's why I personally prioritize wing a bit more. But I do know like some really sharp drafters.
Aren't the
that are much more
Hurricanes crazy
slanted.
good? Shouldn't Frederik Andersen be a good pick?
1, he split starts, and 2, even if he like, they're just going to split starts so down the middle that it's so unlikely that he gets a bunch of strong weeks.
All right, give me the goalie.
Sam Ersson.
Sam Ersson.
Yeah.
Would have never taken him. I would have taken the dude named Elvis. Probably would have been my predilection there.
Those are fine. You know, again, knowing goalies is not like, I mean, anyone who claims they know what the goalies are going to do is just wrong. I mean, hell, you follow one team, and that team last year started with a battery of Alexander Georgiev and some other clown. And within a month, they traded both of them and brought in their current battery of Blackwood and Wedgwood. Like, I mean, like Georgiev was legitimately going, I think, his goalie 5 last year. And within a month, he was traded, and now he's like a joke. You know, like the Sabres signed him, and the entirety of Twitter just clowned them for it.
I was gonna say, wasn't Wedgwood from Carolina to Colorado in the Rantanen trade?
No, that would have been Marty Necas. Wedgwood came in from Nashville, where he was backing up UC Saros.
All right, well, you know, whatever. Shut up. I just remember being so tilted that Rantanen got traded, and I was like, it just makes no sense. I assume that was Kroenke trying to save money.
Yeah, it's hard to say. They just seemed to get bad vibes that he wasn't going to sign there, so they said, "I want out." I don't know why necessarily. I guess they thought they were getting good value, and they just didn't want to lose Rantanen for nothing if he didn't play ball with them. But given he was so crushed to be traded, it kind of seemed like he was taken aback, and he wasn't planning on, walking or whatever. So
yeah, you know what? To be fair, imagine being a Canes fan with the Rantanen tilt. Just immediately. I thought this wasn't what happened. I thought it wasn't that Rantanen said that. I thought the Hurricanes actually just thought that they were going to pull a fast one on the Stars. That was my memory of the situation.
On the Stars, what do you mean by that?
That the reason that Rantanen was only he never even played for Carolina, right?
He played for like 3 weeks or 4 weeks, I think, before they traded
him again. But I thought that was because the Hurricanes and the Avalanche were being cheap, not anything.
No, basically Rantanen said he didn't want to sign in Carolina. It's a little hazy to me what the actual story was, if he told them that at the time of the trade or what. But honestly, Carolina made out like bandits, I think. They got Logan Stankoven, who's like a legitimately good prospect. And they got 2 first-rounders as well that they can use to like plug any gaps they have in the next couple of years. And like, yeah, they traded Marty Necas for it, but like he was having an absolutely killer career bender of a year, like very much unsustainable unless he's playing alongside Nate McKinnon, of course, where that makes you a completely different
everyone can get numbies playing next to McKinnon.
Yeah, so like it wasn't like they gave up a ton to get Rantanen, in my opinion. So the fact that they turned that into Logan Stankoven and 2 first-rounders is actually, I think, a pretty nice piece of work. But I've been a long time. They have a literal like neurophysicist running their front office, whereas every other team has like, cavemen who played in the NHL for 11 years and had their head knocked sideways, running their franchises. So they just do a lot of things that the fancy stats community looks at and goes like, yeah, these guys are running it like a business. They're right. The MLB.
I'm going to take Ghost here. That's got to be fine.
That's fine. Yeah. So because you have Evan Bouchard, he should score for you most weeks. Defense does score the least as far as like the positions are scored.
Do you have to start 1 or 2 every week?
Just one. So again,
Okay.
weeks that Bouchard doesn't score for you, you might be hurting a little bit, but ultimately it's not the end of the world.
All right. So positionally, I have 2 left. What do I do next?
Let's see. I would grab a wing. Stacking, I don't see much that so you can take Anders Lee if you want. I'm actually fairly high on him. You could go Chris Kreider. Will Smith is a slappy pick. If
Chris
you're
Chris Kreider, that's another guy who's got to be about $1 billion.
Yeah. He got traded to Anaheim, and they need a guy net front in their power play 1. So it seems like he's going to be power play 1, which is really all you're looking for. But yeah, slappy pick Will Smith is definitely your, maybe not quite the Ja'Cory Kroski merit, because, Will Smith was like a first, he was top 5 in the NHL draft a couple years ago, but he's like primed for a breakout season playing next to Macklin Celebrini. So that's a guy I have a fair amount of. Kent Johnson is a wizard with the puck. You're going to enjoy watching him if you want to sweat your bags. Matt Coronado, another wing option late. But again, I think Anders Lee on the opposite end of the spectrum is just like the guy who does it all. He should score a bit this year, but he's going to hit, he's going to shoot, and he's going to play with Matt Barzal, who I think is the Islanders' best player. So, even though he's listed on the second line, should be wheels up for Anders Lee for one more go at it.
All right. So positionally, we are at 4, 6, 2, 3. Are we wanting to take another winger or another goalie?
I would 4, 6, 2, 3. I would grab another defenseman. Just in case something were to happen. I don't think you have a solid enough second defenseman to make it like, oh, I'm definitely safe here. So let's see.
Didn't Devin Taves used to be good? Jared Spurgeon, that's another guy I know.
Yeah.
Cam Fowler, that's another guy I know. Ryan Pulak, that's Justin Falk. I mean, that's got to Drew Doughty. How old is Drew Doughty?
I just took Brant Clark, so Drew Doughty is dead to me. I mean, Brant Clark is just the prospect who should be playing Drew Doughty's role, but
Drew Doughty only 35. Honestly,
he plays like he's 85. So
is he still on the Kings? He's still
on the Kings. He came back from injury last year. So a little bit unfair. He missed like over half the year.
Wow, Chris Letang. Chris Letang still in the NHL.
All right, you are grabbing some absolute in wild dudes as far as just they're old as shit.
This should tell you like my peak of paying attention to hockey was like 2013 to 2018.
Yeah, that is fairly obvious, I would say.
Chris Letang last season generated how many points? 51 points. Honestly, dude. Oh, that was the year before. 30 points. Okay. I was going to say 51 points for a defenseman, like, actually can't be that bad.
No. And he's going to start the year in their top power play. It seems like that's just a placeholder, though, for Brian Rust. So I personally would not do that. I think it's more likely that someone like Aaron Ekblad sticks on his team's top power play. Zane Parekh seems like a breakout candidate, but the problem there is he's not going to play opening night. It looks like we just got that news today, but he made the team, which is the first step. Vince Dunn, perfectly cromulent pick. He's not old as dirt like all the guys you have starred. Devon Tays is just so blocked.
Pulak's not that old, right? He's got to be like 32.
Yeah, but he's just not going to play power play. So what's the point? Or if he does, it's going to be second unit, and Matt Schaefer's there, their number 1 pick from last year. John Klingberg is dust. Brent Burns is dusty. So,
wow, Matthias Ekholm. See, I even know guys that don't have ADPs, dude.
Oh yeah, even looking at other positions, you'll recognize a lot of dudes who are perfectly good NHL players. It's not like you're talking, bad players that'll never play. Like you're leaving some power play 1 players on the board.
Give me my final pick here.
All right, either Aaron Ekblad or Vince Dunn. I personally prefer Vince Dunn, but if you want a bit more ruggedness in your lineup, Aaron Ekblad.
Yeah, fine. I do. I just want another guy I know. I'll know checking box scores this year. All right, my final team, maybe my only team. If I get, you know what, I tell you what, if I get done working early tomorrow, we'll do a Membies only best puck. McDavid, Tavares, Zibanejad, Brock Nelson, Artemi, Panarin.
Yep.
Panarin. Seth Jarvis, Nikolai Ehlers, Drake Batherson, Valerie Nishkinen, Anders Lee, Evan Bouchard, Shane. I'm actually not going to try that one. I'm just going to say Ghost, Aaron Ekblad, Mackenzie Blackwood, Karel Vejmelka, Samuel Urson. How'd I do, man? Am I winning $15,000?
25K.
25. Hey, shout out the best puck boys.
It is a perfectly cromulent team. I mean, there's really no way about that. You know, in retrospect, the 4 centers before you closed off a second good defenseman might be your downfall. But if Evan Bouchard has the year that, you know, anywhere close to his like upper range of his outcomes, that won't matter. I like your wing room. I obviously really like the centers you have. So, you know, I think this team has a chance, Davis. You know, it's not too hard to draft best puck. That's what I've been trying to communicate all summer long. Like, you don't have to overcomplicate it. Just don't go crazy. Draft around ADP, and your teams are going to be competitive so long as you're staying in the positional, you know, the positions we talked about, 4-6-3-3 or 3-7-3-3, like my team. And you try to get a couple stacks in there, which obviously you did.
All right. Tell the people where they can get more information if they'd like it, and then we're going to get out of here. I actually lied about streaming longer because I forgot I had a thing that I got to do for RG.
Perfect. Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter. I'm at Fake Moods. I'm also on YouTube at Fake Moods. I don't do a ton on there, but I did a couple drafts if you're in the itch, where I talk, you know, basically the way you did your drafts, Davis, where I paused it and talked about my picks, and then paused it, talked about the picks. And then with my buddy DJ, who's at NHL DJ on YouTube and at DU_Mitchell94 on Twitter. I've done a bunch of streams this off season. I even did a show with the Badge Bros. Well, let's see. I did a show with John about a week ago, and then maybe a month ago, DJ and I both did one.
Here it is right here.
Yeah. So if you've got the itch, if you want something on in the background as you're drafting, those are the best places to go. If you really want to get into it, though, my newsletter is about the best place you can go for sicko gambling stuff. On there, I cover, obviously, the manifestos you just showed, but also in season, I'll do some DFS slate recaps. Like, for example, next Tuesday, there's a Spinorama, $360. Should be a 6-figure payout, the first place. Maybe it's only 50K. We'll see what the gods at DK bless us with. But I'll recap that contest. I'll also preview some slates, about one a week as the season goes over there. That's all free. moods.beehive.com. So yeah, Davis, it's been a pleasure. Long time, first time. And thank you for the invite.
Appreciate you. All right, everyone, make sure you like the video. Make sure you